3, 2, 1. Begin.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling? Talk to us nice. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy, man. Hey, Marcus, man, I can't hear you on my side, man. That snowstorm is kicking you, dog. What's going on in Philly, man? I heard the snow is really piling up over there. So, look, make sure you guys bundle up. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys kick your feet up as well. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy. Y'all know where I'm going. He's Marcus Thomas. I'm Tony Sills the second. This is the Bald Equals podcast. Talk to me about that snow, man. Your power went out earlier.
Right at like 9:58, the power went out. Like around the neighborhood. Then we were texting each other. Then it popped back on. So I said, let me give it a try. I've been up since 8 o'clock, shoveling snow, trees down in the backyard. Luckily, it didn't damage anything because they was big branches. Don't get it twisted. It was big branches. So we got it together, shovel my driveway, walkway, neighbor's driveway. Now we're just having a snow day until the game at 3. So
yeah, man. This is interesting. So the game is at what? 1. And
is it a 1 o'clock game? I thought it was a 3 o'clock game.
Nah, this is a 1 o'clock one because at first I thought it was a 3 o'clock one, 3 o'clock game as well. But it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I think you are. Yep, you are correct, sir.
It's funny. I thought it was a 3 o'clock game too. I think it got flexed on the low because I had planned ahead.
Yeah,
and I don't know. The NFL does what they want to do at the end of the day. It doesn't make a difference.
It's on now. So
yeah, it's on now. And so let's get into this thing. Let's not waste no time. Eagles, Raiders, week 15? Week 15.
Yeah.
Raiders are already out of the playoff race. They've been cooked for their goose has been cooked for quite some time.
Right.
As a matter of fact, dinner is done. The dishes are in the sink. You know, the kids already put to bed. Their season is done. The Eagles, on the other hand, they got a lot of bad juju going on right now. If you ask Devontae Smith, they say the vibes are still high. I don't know. We won't ever really know what that looks like or what that feels like for them. But they're on a 3-game losing streak. They've lost to 3 potential playoff teams. We know the Chargers are going to make the playoffs. We know the Bears are going to make the playoffs. The Cowboys, that still remains to be seen. What's your thoughts right now on this Philadelphia Eagles team entering this Raiders game?
Everything is up in the air right now. We are still in the driver's seat as far as controlling our destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But with what's happened the last 3 weeks, concern is the correct course of action. You know, you should be concerned, and rightfully so, but it's not anything that can't be fixed, or it can't be. We still have the opportunity to put ourselves in the best situation we can. Can't worry about the past. The only thing you can do is concentrate on what's in front of you, and right now that's the Raiders. And again, in a situation where there's no reason why we should not win this game, but we can say that the last 3 weeks. I understand that. I'm aware of that, and I acknowledge that. But still, you got to go into every game thinking that your game plan and what you got on the field is better than your opponents. And I believe that's to be the truth. Now, I'll tell you what, if they mess around, if Jalen Hurts mess around and get outplayed by Kenny Pickett, you know, school's out on him. School's out, whether you like him or not. because you can't. There's no rebuttal for that. Because at the end of the day, and I say this with all the players that I like, especially with Jalen Hurts, two things can be true. I can really like and support a player and keep it a buck on his play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to do as players because we watch the film. And he is aware of that. So how I look at it is nothing has really changed. The results are not what we want them to be the last 3-4 weeks. But the goal doesn't change. You got to go out there and beat the opponent in front of you. Doesn't matter what happened last week or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. The only thing that matters is the Raiders. And we got a better team than the Raiders. We got a better quarterback than the Raiders. Hell, even if it was Geno Smith, we should be in a better situation than both of them. And we can't squander that opportunity. And that's how I'm looking at it. So if, depending on how we play, I would imagine that we're going to try to establish the run again today. Hopefully they've learned their lesson and they'll try to run outside the tackles instead of trying to jam and everything inside the tackles down the throat without Lane Johnson. So hopefully they've learned some lesson. Hopefully they got some common sense and they got a game plan because quite honestly, the last couple times we played in, inclement weather, it didn't really benefit us. The Rams came in here and almost beat us in the snow. So the northeast weather doesn't necessarily benefit us. Jalen doesn't necessarily play well in bad weather, especially when he's not running the ball. So I don't know. We've had the 3 weeks of we're going to get everything fixed. We got new wrinkles. And even last week after the game, everybody was talking about, I heard Orlovsky and I heard Greg Cosell saying, despite the loss, I liked some of the concepts they were running. Well, that's great. So let's finish it, though. It's great that we had new concepts and we showed some things that different wrinkles that nobody had seen before. That's all well and good. But if it doesn't result in a W, I don't care. Ike Reese made a great point. I texted him after I heard him on the radio. He was cooking, bro. And he said, I want to get back to how the Eagles were winning games. I don't care that Jalen Hurts wasn't throwing it enough across the middle. I don't care what we were doing. We were winning games. If it was ugly, it was ugly, but we were winning games. And he said something, and it stuck with me. And this is when I texted him. I said, you said it 100%. Fans want style points. I don't care about style points. I want to win. If it's ugly, it's ugly. He's been throwing the ball all over the place the last 3 weeks, and we got 3 L's.
Here's to your point about style points and versus just getting the win, right? That's typically my mantra. Just get the job done.
Right.
I don't really care how you do it. But every now and again, your boss cares about how you got to your destination. Hey, how did we get here? Is there anything we could have avoided? Did we make this job a little harder than we needed to? What can you do differently to make next time I ask you to do the same task? What can we do to make it more efficient? And we have, what is this, a 13-game sample size?
Right.
When it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, offensively, that is. Defensively, I don't worry about this team game to game. I really don't. I expect this team to make plays defensively somehow, some way, and I expect the defense to keep the offense in the game. But this is a game in particular where I want you to smack them. I want you to smack them. Like, the Raiders are, let's call it what it is, man. The Raiders are 2 and, what is this? 12, 11, whatever the hell it is.
2-11.
2-11. They are god awful. And there's no way a team like this should even be able to put up 20 points on you. Their offense has been terrible. Their starting quarterback's not in. Their offensive line has been abysmal. They traded their best receiver, Jacoby Myers, to the Jags.
Right.
They're not a good football team. The best they have is Brock Bowers at tight end and Ashton Dempsey at running back. And they got Kyle Pickett playing quarterback. Kenny Pickett playing quarterback. Their defense, the best they got going for them really is Max Crosby.
Right.
That's it. This is a terrible football team. This team is not coached well. Shout out to Pete Carroll. Listen, he's respected in football circles, but his time has passed, if you ask me.
I agree.
They fired their OC and Chip Kelly.
Oof.
This is a team that's just waiting to be put down. They're waiting to be put down. So all those style points is not all those style points. Style points is not something I typically care about. I need you to dominate this team. Now, I don't care how you dominate them. I'll say that much. I don't care how you dominate them. Listen, you can score 5 touchdowns on defense. I don't care how you dominate them. I need that scorecard to say, I don't know, 30-10. I need that scorecard to be way too much to way too little.
To not enough. Too much to not enough. That should be the score.
So ultimately, I do understand the perspective of forget style points, just get the win because they haven't won in almost a month. But that is my sentiment. But also, I need to see some cohesiveness. I need to see you dominant again. I don't care who it's against. I need to see you. I need to have a week where I'm able to just walk away from the TV, do some laundry, and say, "Oh yeah, they still up by 30."
Exactly.
I need to be able to let my dog out, come back and say, "Oh yeah, we still got him by 27. We still got him by 3-4 scores." I want to be able to take a nap during this game. I don't want to stress, Marcus. I've been stressing hard. I've been stressing for a month.
Yeah.
My wife hates me right now. She hates me right now. It's like, no. But the point is, look, this team is better than what they've shown us. And every week we're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And look, I take this team on a game-by-game basis at this point, especially at this point in the season. The Raiders are awful. They should dominate this team. But I got this weird feeling they're going to make it interesting.
Right. Well, I don't want interesting. I want to keep it simple. The plan has not changed. You got to dominate and win the trenches. That's been our biggest problem all year. That has not changed.
Well, you've been winning it on defense for the most part.
Yeah, I'm talking about offense, obviously. I'll take the offense off the I don't need to talk about the defense. Defense has been paying their half of the rent. So that is not a concern. Even the bad games, they still made enough plays to give us an opportunity to win. That's what you're supposed to do for a defense. You're going to get got every now and then. We're not exempt. So I need the offense to dial it in and do what they're supposed to do. I need Jalen Hurts to see the field better, see those open guys go through his progressions. I need the offensive line to sustain their blocks. That's the biggest key, in my opinion. It all trickles down from there. When we run blocking, I need these guys to hold their blocks for that extra half a second, because that is making all the difference in the world. That's the difference between Saquon getting to the line of scrimmage, Saquon getting 3, or Saquon getting 30 on one play. Hold that block for that extra second so he can get past you. If you pass blocking, get in front of your guy, get hands on him, and don't hold. Nothing stupid, nothing obvious. Do what you got to do, protect them. And finally, Jalen, you got to see the open man. Point, period, end of paragraph. We are way too late in the season for not on the same page. Because if you're not on the same page, that means y'all wasn't on the same page in practice during the week. That's a you problem.
Exactly.
That's a you problem.
And on top of that, you not being on the same page in practice, I look at coaching now.
Right.
Because they're supposed to oversee this thing. They're supposed to be the ones being that checks and balances. They're supposed to be the ones picking up on who's locked in and who's not.
Right.
If guys are making mistakes, hey, lock in. I know Devontae said, hey, the vibes are still in a good place, but I need to see a sense of urgency.
Oh yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And you have to, they know this as professionals. A sense of urgency does not mean rush.
Yes. It just means understanding the assignment.
That just means your margin for error is the way that it always is at this level, very slim.
Yeah.
Because each mistake that you make can cost you and give the other opportunity the other team the opportunity to take advantage of it. That's what we don't want.
If they lose to the fucking Raiders today,
School's out. You get what you get.
yo, mail it in. Turn in your tests. The clock, the bell rung. Turn in your tests. I didn't care if you finished.
It'll
Turn
be
your test in.
it'll be an ugly look, but
Mm.
the I don't know, I guess the half full way to look at it is this is not a team in our division, so it's not. We still got 2 division games coming up with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
We got Washington and the Bills after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 division games that's really gonna count. So we still get an opportunity to handle our business. If we got a limp in, we got a limp in. If we got a limp in the back door, so be it. But hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully they'll do what they got to do.
Honestly, if they lose any more games, they got a chance of not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like seriously. If they lose today, it's entirely possible they'll make the playoffs.
And whose fault is that?
Because the 5th seed is 10-3 in the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
The 6th seed is 9-4 in the 49ers. And the 7th seed
will
in
be
the Bears is 9-4.
Will be incumbent upon somebody else to lose. We won't control our own destiny.
And right now you do still.
Exactly.
Right now you're in full control. Right now, number 1 seed is out. Forget that. You're in control of the division still.
Correct.
And the Cowboys got a layup this week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I got this right. Who do you play this week? Cowboys. Oh, actually, that's not really a layup. They got the Vikings. The Vikings are weird. They're not going to make the playoffs, but the Vikings they make you work still because they're talented.
I don't see them beating the Vikings, or I don't see the Vikings beating Dallas.
Hey, listen, every time I thought they wasn't going to win a game, they found a way to win a game. So I just can't.
Justin Jefferson done checked out, man.
You think so?
He done checked out.
We'll see, man. It's a Sunday night game. We sure will see. See.
But at the end of the day, man,
I do think the Cowboys win it though.
We gotta handle our business.
No, yeah, for sure. But it's important that we understand the lay of the land, though.
Absolutely.
And the reality is the Cowboys. You have allowed the Cowboys to make it interesting. You have allowed that.
Yeah.
There's nothing the Cowboys did this season that made me sweat. The Eagles themselves, made it interesting for the division. It's interesting now. Let's call it what it is. So you take care of business against the Raiders. Listen, I'm not getting into no special analytics when it comes to this game. I'm not getting into all the numbers and all that. This game is very, very simple, you guys. Kick their ass. You're at home.
Trenches. Yep.
Win in the trenches.
The weather's in our favor.
And don't turn the ball over.
They don't play no snow in Las Vegas.
Jalen Hurts has 7 turnovers in the past 2 games. 7. That cannot happen.
Well, I look at it like he done got that out of his system.
I hope so. I hope so.
Happens to everybody.
I hope so.
Jared Goff had a game like that. Matthew Stafford had a game like that.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in a game. So, I mean, it happens. And like I said last week, what are you going to do after the fact? How do you respond to that? So, listen, man, we got enough in the arsenal to take care of business. We just got to take care of business.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. What's your thoughts on? Talk to me about AJ Brown entering this game. Although he got his numbers last week, he dropped some crucial passes that could have won you the game. Quite frankly, could have put the game away.
I don't
speak on his mindset coming to this game. Speak on your expectation of him coming to this game.
I don't. AJ Brown is the last thing I'm worried about. And again, and I'll say this from experience. Speaking from experience, everybody goes through this. Everybody. Especially when you are the guy on your team. And then eventually you fumble the ball or you drop an easy pass or like you saw what happened to CeeDee Lamb all year and all of that type of stuff. It happens. Christian McCaffrey fumbles. You know what I mean? You can name any great player on any great team, and they had a moment, and you looking at like, where did that come from? He don't never drop that ball. Why does he? How did he drop that ball? Hell, look at the first damn Super Bowl, and Jalen fumbles the ball, not hit. He fumbled it, and it's like, where did that come from? And everybody gets a turn when it's something like that. So he did it. He got it. I know it was on his brain because everybody probably browbeat him all week. You can't bitch, moan, and complain. You can't say what you say and then drop balls. I had somebody approach me in Sam's Club and say that. I had my Eagles shirt, Eagles jacket on. He was like, "Hey," he had an Eagles hoodie, an old school Eagles hoodie, Kelly Green joint, and he said, if AJ Brown is on his team dropping balls next year, I'm throwing this thing away. And I wanted to, I didn't want to get no conversation, but I was like, AJ Brown ain't the problem.
Nah.
You gonna have, it's bound to happen. Period. It's bound to happen. Now that it happened, it's out of the way. Let's move on. And that's all you can do.
Yeah, right. Because ultimately, in the macro, AJ Brown is reliable.
Correct.
He's been very reliable. He's been very consistent for the Eagles from a production perspective. No matter what season, no matter the circumstance, he's been productive.
Right.
So last week from AJ Brown was definitely an anomaly. And on top of that, it was one of those games where you just say to yourself, nothing went right for that offense. Every time they took one step forward, they took 5 steps back. That's how bad it was. So I expect AJ to come in and be AJ. I expect Devontae to come and be Devontae. I'm at this point now where, if they can't stop one guy, keep feeding that guy. I don't care who get their numbers, and if they can't stop one guy, keep feeding that guy. Simple as that. Simple as that. So ultimately, you're right. I don't think AJ Brown was a problem. AJ Brown has been talking about what the problem was all year long, and here we are. It's all been coming to a head, and now you got a team that is waiting to be put down.
Right.
You can make an argument that organization in themselves checked out. You can make an argument for that. So, and it's not like we're in the division. It's not a rivalry game, so they're not going to get up extra for this one. It's just take care of your business. Now, with the weather going on over there, talk to me. Is it still coming down? I heard somebody put in the chat that it's supposed to stop around 1.
Yeah, it's slowing up. I just took. I'm sitting here checking my security cameras, and it looks like it's done slowed down a lot. So it that aspect of it, but it's going to be very blustery and very cold. So the wind is still up. It's still snowing just a little bit, and then you got the wind blowing the snow off the trees and things like that. So, but I think the heavy stuff is done. I think it'll be clear at game time. It's just going to be cold, and I don't know what the wind is going to do. The wind is going to be key because Jake Elliott has been suspect as of late.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we not even have to worry about that? How about you kick the extra points and let's not worry about field goals today because the elements are going to be in play. And it should be to our advantage because, again, yes, it does get cold in Vegas, but it don't get cold like this. This is different. This is elements. This is cold and wet. The only thing worse than being cold is being wet and cold. So you got to we should be used to this, so we should use it to our advantage. But it all comes down to how we play.
This is the kind of weather you fumble in.
Yeah, because your hands get cold and it gets hard to hold on to the ball.
Exactly.
So this is where I tell people, if you got to wear gloves, wear gloves. Have about 5 pair of them gloves. Change them every other series. So, but I mean, they got the technology and stuff like that. They'll be good. It's not like Saquon played in New York. He knows what cold weather is. You know what I'm saying? AJ's been here long enough. Jalen's been here long enough. Everybody else has been here long enough. This is Philly. This is what we do. This is what we about. So we got to use it to our advantage. Kenny Pickett played at Pittsburgh. Absolutely right. He knows what it is. He just ain't very good.
Are they allowed to use hand warmers?
I don't know what the rule is about that. I think they are, but I think you can't have them on the field. Like, because I know they have the little pockets So I don't know
Yeah.
if they can keep them in those pockets. I don't know what the rule is to that.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about like the little yeah, like the pockets that be in the jerseys, or even the quarterback pouch they put his hands in the
Right.
warm. Like I was always curious, are they able to keep hand warmers in there? Just just
I don't
stashed?
know. I don't think they are, because that could pop out and cause a problem. Somebody steps on that and the chemical is exposed, and somebody touches it. So I would imagine that they don't really want you to have stuff like that on field. But I mean, there's a price to pay with that. If you got your hands in your pockets, right, and you got hand warmers in there, and they superheat your hands, the minute you take your hands out of that, the extreme difference in temperature can make it worse.
So
That's just like
so it's actually best to just get your hands used to your situation, because your hands are going to loosen up the more you use them. They're going to loosen up.
you ever woke up in the morning and, I don't know, had to open up the front door to pick up the paper, and you've been in your warm bed and you just got your t-shirt on, you still in your jammies, but that cold air hit you when you ain't wearing nothing. It's a different type of shock. So when you are like all of those guys sitting on the bench next to the turbine heater that's blowing that air like that, you ever notice that they changed how they do that now? Remember they used to have that big blower and people used to stand by it? Now they don't do that. What they do is they got them plastic benches and they blow the hot air through the bench, so the bench stays warm. Because what you find out is, if you standing by that heater and you trying to get cold or trying to get warmed up, the minute you step back on the field and you're not in that heater, your legs seize up. So now you got to wake your legs up, and be looking for that today. You're gonna see a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of people smacking their legs in the back of their thighs because they trying to get that circulation going. So you might have to go back to the old ways today. The old ways when I was coming up, and before we had Under Armour and thermal gear and all of that type of stuff. And my dad made me do it when I was in high school. And I looked at him and laughed. He said, "Get you some pantyhose." I said, "What? I ain't wearing no pant." He said, "Get you some pantyhose, and you put your pantyhose on, because they constantly rubbing your legs.
The friction,
and the friction keeps you warm." And that's what I had to do. So different things like that. You see people wearing Vaseline. You see the linemen with Vaseline on their arms and stuff like that, because the Vaseline will insulate you, keep the heat in a little bit better. So there's different things you can do, but at the end of the day, when you're on that bench and you ain't playing, either find you a warm spot, get on that bike and keep moving, but you can't get cold. If you get cold and your muscles freeze up, everybody gonna be looking like snails out there. Gonna be looking like they're running through oatmeal. So that's something that you have to get used to. We should be used to it, because we play in the Northeast.
Should be.
Vegas should not be used to that, because they play in a dome.
In Vegas at that. So, no, you bring up a good point. When it comes to, just staying on the offensive side, Kevin Patullo, he's kind of flown, in my opinion, under the radar over the course of this losing streak. People obviously still got their opinions about him, but I feel like they pointed the finger at Jalen Hurts more these days than Kevin Patullo. You said that Greg Cosell, and I can't remember the second person you said they liked some of the concepts they saw from the Eagles offense against the Chargers. Kevin, give me your thoughts on Kevin Patullo entering this game, and what do you think the Raiders will do to try to create opportunities for themselves?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to look at the film from the last two games and follow suit. Give Jalen a lot to look at, hit you with the hidden coverages, have everybody up on the line, and then on the snap, everybody drops back. It'll be interesting to see if we still do the same stuff and snap the ball with like 3 seconds left on the clock, if we continue to do that. Because that puts us, we talked about that last week, that puts us as an offense at a disadvantage because of the motion and because how late we can snap, because that lets the defense adjust. And then if they want to hide a coverage and then they drop back at the last minute, that's why the big guy got that interception last week. So that was just a good defensive call by them, and the dude sold the fake. He took 2 steps forward, and when Jalen left on his progression, the guy was coming And then when he looked back and found AJ going across the middle, he didn't expect to see that big ass defensive tackle right there. So that's what they try to do. They're gonna look at what has happened the last 2-3 games,
Mhm.
and they're gonna implement some things. So I would expect to see some of the same type of concepts on defense to try to confuse Jalen, to try to look like everybody's bringing the blitz, and you got to find out who's coming, and then you drop everybody back in coverage. Because they're gonna challenge. Can y'all beat us? Or y'all gonna try to run hitch routes all across the board? You know what I mean?
If the play's coming in late, or if they're snapping the ball consistently at the 1 second, 2 second mark, who is that? Is that what? Because again, you've been on the field before. I know not at the quarterback, but you've played this game for a long time. When the plays aren't being, or the ball isn't being snapped into that 1 second, damn near zero mark on the shot clock, on the play clock, is that a Kevin Patullo problem or a Jalen Hurts problem?
A little bit of both, because it's a Patullo problem if you got motion, because that means you got to get to the line of scrimmage. You got to let everybody get set. You got to let somebody come in motion, and then once they come in motion, they got to get set. Then you got to look at how much time you got left on the clock, because once the motion happens, then Jalen has got to look to see. Remember, if somebody goes in motion, you're trying to find out one thing: are they in zone or are they in man? If the man runs across with them, they in man coverage. If they just shift over or nobody moves, that means they're in zone coverage. That's exactly what that's for. That doesn't mean that the people on the line of scrimmage still can't drop back. That doesn't mean that the defensive tackle can't drop back into Tampa coverage and be in the middle of the zone where Jalen didn't see him. Because on the snap of the ball, this is what it looked like. That's the problem. So to me, that's a scheme problem. That's a Patullo issue, especially if that's happened. We got to put something else in there, or don't do the motion. Line up in what you're going to get and run with it. That gives Jalen enough time to figure out what they're going to do, because now that forces the defense, make a move, do what you're going to do, and I still got time to adjust, or call an audible, something like that.
Yeah, because like my instinct has always been the plays must be coming in late, or they're taking forever. Like Kevin Patullo they're scrambling on the sideline to get these plays into these guys. Because I find it hard to believe that if the play is called in a reasonable time, Jalen Hurts' boys can't get lined up in a reasonable time. I find it very hard to believe that they're snapping the ball at the 1 second mark, 2 second mark, because Jalen Hurts can't get them lined up correctly.
Well,
I find
a
that
lot
very
of times,
hard to believe.
Remember, he's on the radio. Jalen's got the green dot, so he got to get the play first. So once he gets the play, now you got to look at his wrist, call the play, right? Then they got to line up. Then they got to go in motion, do all of that. So it really does start when you get the play first. How quick are they in and out of the huddle? So that's what you got to look at.
And that's why I look at Patullo. Like he does.
Right. Correct. So when Jalen is calling the plays, take notice of how much time is left on the clock when everybody goes to the line of scrimmage. Forget the play clock. We know it's what, 45 seconds, 40 seconds, play clock, whatever it is. Count how much time is left when Cam Jurgens puts his hand on the ball, how much time is left on the play clock?
Most of the time it's like 5 seconds.
Exactly. That's what you got to work with. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But that makes all the difference in the world. So I'll be watching that. How much time they got left, and because it matters. And then after you do all of that, what's the play they running? It's like, because then it's like, wait a minute, you went through all of the motions, and that's what you came up with.
They send the same guy in motion, Devontae Smith. Like it's never nobody different, man. It's the same dude in motion, Devontae. Like Devontae definitely getting his steps in, because all he do they run that man in motion, and it's predictable. It is predictable. But Marcus, I know you gotta grab them groceries real quick. So I'm gonna hold this down in the meantime. I'll
be right back, because I don't think they're here yet. I got to check on some things real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, no worries. So, listen, y'all. Like this is a big game in my humble opinion. I look at the Philadelphia Eagles and I say to myself, how do you want to be remembered this season? Because so far, the Philadelphia Eagles this season, that is being compared to the 2023 collapse. And I fought against that. I fought against that narrative all season long. And look, they got 4 games left. 4. This one today. Then they got Commanders, Bills, Commanders. And there's a chance Jaden Daniels doesn't even play next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's entirely possible because of that elbow. Their season is already cooked. Maybe they just shut them down. It's entirely possible. As a matter of fact, you guys know how the Commanders are playing on Netflix, right? On Christmas, right? They don't even have Jaden Daniels on the promo card. They got Bobby Wagner on it. They got Bobby Wagner and Dak Prescott on the promo card. They don't even have Jaden Daniels on there. So they're anticipating Jaden Daniels not even playing in this game, if you ask me. Because Jaden Daniels, he's a young star in the making. He's talented. I think he's going to be fine. Now, health-wise, different conversation, but Netflix is already preparing not to see Jaden Daniels. Why would they put Bobby Wagner next to Dak Prescott on the promo card? You see what I'm saying? So that's where things get interesting. But today, you're going up against Kenny Pickett. No disrespect to Kenny Pickett, because Kenny Pickett put up some good snaps for the Eagles. He did. But it's Kenny Pickett, y'all. Small hand Kenny Pickett. Baby fist Kenny Pickett. Like baby hand Kenny Pickett. This is a game the Philadelphia Eagles should be able to dominate in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Max Crosby is a talent, but as a collective, I don't see why this Eagles offensive line can't get going today. I really, really, really don't get it. And then on the defensive side, man, this defense has been playing phenomenally. Jahai Campbell's snaps have diminished, but that's because Nakobe Dean is playing at such a high level. It is what it is. Jahai Campbell's a rookie. He'll get his opportunities. He's a young player. He will get his opportunities. But that defensive line, the Jalen Phillips, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jordan Davis has come alive. Jordan Davis probably had his best game of the season last week against the Chargers, and the Eagles offense didn't make up for that. Jordan Davis is a star. And Jalen Carter, he has to get healthy, right? He's nursing the shoulder surgery, so he'll be back. We know Jalen Carter at his pinnacle is the man. But Jordan Davis has been playing at such a high level this season. You can't even deny what you're seeing. And the Eagles did pick up his 5th-year option. So I'm under the impression the Eagles do want to maintain or retain Jordan Davis because of how well he's playing. You don't just find guys like that. He was a little bit of a late bloomer, right? But Jordan Davis, he's in what? This is year 4 now? Or it's got to be year 4. So big opportunity for all parties involved. But I've loved what I saw from Jordan Davis. He's been getting better and better and better all year long. And quite frankly, it's remarkable. It's remarkable, man, how well Jordan Davis has been playing. That defense has been playing well. Adoree Jackson had his best game of the year last week, and they wasted it.
Adoree Jackson showed up, wasted effort.
They wasted it. That's what I'm saying. Like football, and Marcus, you can jump in at any point. Football is a game of opportunity, man. And when you waste opportunities, when you waste performances like that, and you lose, dog,
it sucks. It sucks. We wasted that. He caught some flack after the Keely Ringo stuff. It was like, well, Adoree Jackson ain't it. And I think sometimes we forget how hard it is to get comfortable with a scheme. Regardless of how good you are, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where you're supposed to be, it doesn't matter. So to me, it sounds like he just got into a situation where everything, remember what I said in camp? What you want to do is stop thinking. The minute you stop thinking and you know what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to be, your play gets better because you're not trying to analyze and think. And if you got to think on the field, that means you already a step behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he got there. And plus the confidence that comes with that and all of that type of stuff. So I'm expecting the same type of game again from him. Honestly, the person I'm watching in this game is Fred Johnson. I'm looking Fred Johnson and Mailata because they got to deal with Crosby, Max Crosby. That's the one person we got to worry about. Can we handle that?
Mm-hmm.
Because they, again, if the Raiders aren't stupid, they're going to watch tape and see what Chicago did. They're going to try to run the ball on us. They're going to try to have cutback lanes. They're going to try to have zone blocking, all of that type of stuff. Everything that was successful against us. It seems like every team does that, but we don't do it to nobody else.
Right.
So,
and Ashton Genty's a talented player.
Yes.
He's a talented player. Obviously not the fastest, but he can, if you let him build up momentum, he'll get away from you. He can burn you.
He can burn
you. So then again, their offense is really Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. They're going to build their entire game plan is going to be built around getting those guys the ball.
Correct.
Now I trust our linebackers. I trust Cooper DeJean's ability to be able to keep up with guys like that. Cooper DeJean's been playing well this year. Zach Ball and Nakobe Dean have been playing well. Nakobe Dean as a blitzer has been phenomenal. I just don't. This is a game where you have to harass and abuse and violate Kenny Pickett. You have everything from the Eagles defense working for you.
Kenny Pickett ain't never met Jalen Phillips. He wasn't around. So that's something else he got to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the young fellas have I heard you talking about Jordan Davis. Man, listen.
That was his best game. That was his best game last week, all year, in my opinion.
For him to finally realize his potential and you see it, and it's like, and he stayed on the field
the entire time.
That's what we need. That's what we need. So between him, you lose Jalen Carter, but you get Jalen Phillips, so you still got somebody that the offensive line has to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, is the Jomo playing today? He got hurt, didn't he?
Let me double check.
I don't remember seeing him on the injury report.
I didn't see him on the injury report.
Tiff, great point. Byron Young. Byron Young
had a good game last week. He had a good game last week.
Yes. And also, you know when's the last time we talked about Quinyon Mitchell? You know why? Because they ain't throwing his way.
Right. And the one time they did throw his way, he got caught for PI last week.
They ain't throwing his way. So the defense is set. I'm expecting Nakobe to shut all of that shit down. I'm expecting Nakobe to be able to handle Ashton Genty and get to Kenny Pickett, because Kenny Pickett knows what he's coming up against, and we know Kenny Pickett. That works both ways. So if Vic Fangio doesn't have something special because he knows Kenny Pickett, then I'm looking at Vic Fangio like, what are you doing?
Vic Fangio has to,
you got to dial something. You got to know what his weakness is. You got to know what his weakness is. So from that aspect of it, I'm expecting the defense to do what they've been doing. I look at it like that. I expect the defense to do what they have been doing. So we should be. You got to play the game, though.
Yeah.
You got to play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Let's see where we are here. Give me your thoughts on, because we talked about the D-line a bit, right? I was looking at some stats here. Jalix Hunt, not a bad second season.
Correct.
Not a bad second season at all. Jalix Hunt, make sure I got this right here. On the season, we're talking 4.5 sacks. He's tied for the lead. He's tied for leading the team in sacks with Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis has 4.5 sacks on the year, which is crazy. He has like 3 in his career prior to the season. 4.5 sacks for Jalix Hunt. 6 TFLs, 2 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, a touchdown, 2 forced fumbles. He's been all over the place for this team, especially in the second half of the year. And Jordan Davis again, 4.5 sacks, 7 TFLs, 6 pass deflections. Nakobe Dean, 4 sacks, 5 TFLs, 1 pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles. Morrill, Jomo, 4 sacks. You've been getting the bulk of your sacks from the D tackle spot and that linebacker spot. Zach Ball, 3.5 sacks. Nolan Smith, 2 sacks. Jalen Carter, 2 sacks. You know, Jalen Phillips still only has 1 sack on the season for the Eagles, but he's been delivering a lot of punishment, though.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
He's
Lot of
been
pressure.
he's been creating a lot of opportunity for everybody else. So you got to give credit where credit is due in that regard. But again, when we talk about this defense, it's just going to be about waxing poetic about them. There's nothing negative to really say about this defense.
Nothing.
Every conversation that I have, I always get drawn back to the offense. Always, even though, because like you know the sad thing about it is, Marcus, I feel like a broken record. And it's like, damn, like I'm trying to give people a unique experience when we're talking about this team.
Right.
But I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I feel like I'm on this perpetual hamster wheel with this Eagles offense. You got to dominate this team.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Raiders crack 20 points today. Not even 17. Not even 17.
Dominate like we know we're the better team. Absolutely.
The Raiders are tied for the worst record in football.
Yeah.
The worst record in football. They're tied with the Giants. They're tied with the Tennessee Titans, and they're tied with the It's just the Raiders and the Titans and the Giants are tied for the worst records in football. 2-11. You're arguably going up against the worst team in the football league.
Correct.
You better
handle your business.
Ass.
You better handle your business. You cannot play down to your competition.
Yeah, it's been too often. It's been too often. Not a single game I could say that the Eagles were out of or they shouldn't have won. I firmly believe if the Eagles did their job, either at minimum 75% of the way, they probably has maybe one loss on the season.
Right.
Like I'm not even trying to be Joe. I'm not even trying to spice this thing. I'm being honest. If the Eagles did their job at 75% of the way, 80% of the way, they probably would have had one loss in the season.
If the Eagles offense did.
Yes, Eagles offense, excuse me.
Yes.
Eagles offense. Yes.
I agree.
How are you looking at Nick Sirianni throughout this process? Because we know Kevin Patullo is not going to be the OC next year. We know that.
No.
There's no way Jeffrey Lurie allows that. And I also got a question for you about Jeffrey Lurie as well, because he supposedly spoke this week. But when you think about Nick Sirianni in this whole equation and the fact that it's this constant cycling of new OCs, that has to be an indictment against him in terms of his ability to maintain successful offenses through change. That has to be because what separates, and again, I'm not even asking him to call plays, but what separates guys is that the fact that they're able to they know how to hire for one, but also they know how to keep things fresh. And the reality is, despite Nick Sirianni's stellar and impeccable resume, he hasn't been able to string together consistent performances from his offense this season, let alone throughout his tenure with the Eagles. But if you zoom out and look in the macro and look at his resume, he's one of the best coaches he's been one of the best coaches since he's been in the league. And
right.
he deserves credit for that. He deserves credit for that. But this constant shuffling of the OCs and the change I had this fear that we're never truly going to see Jalen Hurts at his best.
I agree until we get somebody, until we get an offensive coordinator in here that's going to stay for a little bit. So to me, that's the long and short of it. We can't be having these one and dones because I'm looking at, okay, is this quote unquote Nick Sirianni's offense and everybody else is just adjusting to it and calling plays and things of that nature, or is it?
You said the playbook is huge. Because you said the playbook is vast. Yeah. So I just find it hard to believe that these OCs can't find successful plays in a playbook that has. You said playbooks typically have thousands of plays these days.
Yeah, these days, and the honest look at it is, Tone, everybody got the same playbook. It's all about, think of it like a Lego set.
Okay.
A Lego set has the same Legos, the same pieces.
Yeah,
but when you look at certain instructions, the end result is different. You got a building on this one, you got a race car on this one, you got a spaceship on this one, but the bricks
Are
are
the
still
same.
the bricks. So I look at it from that standpoint. There's not too many. If I get the Raiders playbook and then I get the New England Patriots playbook, you're gonna see a lot of plays that are similar. And they call it a different thing. They might have little wrinkles, but the concepts are pretty similar. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Right.
You call it tomato, I call it tomato. So to me, that's what it's about. And it all comes down to the person that's cooking the meal. What are they going to do with it? What are they going to take with what you have and say, okay, I like this, but I'm going to change this route. We're gonna switch these so the progression is different on third and long as opposed to second and short.
So it's
Same
not
play,
so
but
it's
you
not a
switch
Nick
things.
Sirianni problem then. If what you say is close, accurate, right? Like because OCs have the liberty, and again, they get hired early. You can look at this whole playbook and say, "Oh, I like this. Let me tweak this. Let me tweak that." These OCs have the liberty of looking at all these plays and picking what they like from it.
Exactly. And then from what they pick, you tweak them.
Yes. So I have to put this on Kevin Patullo how the offense performed this year because Nick Sirianni's hands off for the most part.
Well, you can't say that because at the end of the day, Nick Sirianni's been around long enough where he can say, now I don't know if he does, but I would think that he does because he's in the meetings too, where he'll say, okay, we've been doing this, and it's not like he's saying, he's got film clips. This is what we do against zone. This is what we do against man. This is what we do against cover 2, cover 3. This is what we do against cover 2 under. This is what we do against Tampa 2. This is what we do against all of these defense. Here are the plays that we got run. Let's watch this one. Let's watch this one. Now, this team does a variation of this, so they work it out. Then, once you get that concept of what you want to do and what works and what doesn't, now I'm leaving it to the offensive coordinator to really take it to the next level. So basically, it's like that analogy I used last week. I can teach you how to play chess. I can't teach you how to be good at it. That's something that you got to do. I know how to play chess. I know how the pieces move. I know the queen is the most powerful piece, but I can't. It's very hard to teach you how to get good at it. You got to figure that out. You got to be able to discern what's coming and see things that other people don't see. That's why you got some good coordinators and some bad ones. They all got the same information. How come he's better at it than I am? How come I was a better running back than a whole bunch of other people that were faster and stronger than I was in college? You see what I'm saying? So it's an environment thing. It's the ingredients that you have around you. It's your personnel. Now, the indictment is he's got the best personnel. He's comfortable. He's been there for a while, so he knows the people, and it's still not getting done. So basically, we Brian Johnson all over again?
That's even interesting because Brian Johnson still had this offense ranked in the top 10. That's make it even crazier.
Yes.
They still were ranked top 10. And I would argue that season, their problem, even though Jalen Hurts had a turnover problem that year, I would argue their problem was an offense that year. It was defense.
Correct.
That's what I would argue. They still were top 10 in was it total offense?
And I agree. So when do you cut the cord? What are Lori and Howie looking at? If history serves us, I don't see Kevin Patullo hanging around. He had his shot. He had a legitimate shot. And it's not working.
Yeah. Most OCs don't come into a situation like this.
Correct.
He was given everything.
This is not like the situation like remember when Buffalo fired their offensive coordinator?
Yeah, they fired Ken Dorsey. Is it Ken Dorsey? And
Dorsey,
and they elevated Joe Brady.
Yeah. But when he got fired, if you remember that game, Josh Allen threw like 3 interceptions in a game. Now, was that Ken Dorsey's fault?
I don't think so, personally. I just feel like that's just who he was at the time, Josh Allen.
The only reason, or the only way you say that's Ken Dorsey's fault is if you go back, and then again, we're not into these conversations, so it's hard for us to say. But if you were in the meeting room and they're running through a game plan, and Josh Allen is like, "We can't run this. If we run this and they switch up, we playing right into their hands." And he said, "Trust me." And then so you do have situations like that. Now I don't know what the reason is. All I know is Josh Allen threw for 3 interceptions and they fired the offensive coordinator. And I am positive that they didn't practice that during the week. You didn't practice 3 picks.
You said something really interesting.
Go ahead.
You said, obviously, we're not privy to all the conversations in these meetings, but there's a chance that Josh Allen vetoed something, and Ken Dorsey was like, "No, trust me, we got like this will work. This will work." And Josh Allen's like, "No, because they do this and that, it won't work." And Ken Dorsey's like, "No, trust me, I got it." And being a good soldier, Josh Allen's like, "Okay, all right, it's your coach, so you're going to listen to your coach." And you go out there and you run the offense the way they're telling you to run it, and lack of execution occurs, or for whatever reason they pick up on what you're doing and they jump it, whatever it is, and now it's causing turnovers or whatever. And again, the play call's not out there throwing the ball, but you're putting your team in a bad position when you're not making the necessary adjustments prior to the game even starting. So that begs the question, when I think about it from an Eagles perspective, I'm curious how vocal Jalen Hurts is in those meetings with Kevin and Nick and so on and so forth. I'm just curious how much they agree on and disagree on. I'm very curious about that, because I would argue they disagree on more things than they agree on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Of course, I don't know, and I have no leg to stand on, but I just have this feeling.
Here's what I would want to know, because Jalen has a unique perspective, him being a coach's son, and him going through this his whole career in college and in the pros. So he's used to this, but that doesn't mean that it works. We had 2 guys that were good, and because they were so good, we lost them. And that is the bane of being a good offensive coordinator. You got aspirations to being a head coach, then you go be a head coach, and then you realize it's easier to be an offensive coordinator. Not so easy to be the head coach, because now you can't just concentrate on one thing all the time. So I'm with you. I would love to know how those conversations go. I would love to know if Jalen Hurts gives Patullo that arched eyebrow and say, "You really want to do that? Where should I be looking? What's my progression?" Things like that. And then you got 8 bajillion variations of it, because you don't know what the defense is going to show you. So you got to rely on your analytics and your film study. And again, this goes back to, okay, the Raiders run this defense when it's 3rd and 5 or more. The Raiders run this defense 36.4% of the time. And you got to go by the numbers. So now it's a gamble, because you might have 6 options that you could see. And then once one of those 6 pop up, how do you adjust your offense to take advantage of it? Then what happens if they show you something that's not one of those options? What do you do? How do you respond? That's the chess match that we seem to be losing. Because it seems like when we are faced with something that we haven't seen, we go back to the mundane. We go back to the bubble screen. We go back to just hand it off to Saquon up the middle.
And that's a coaching problem.
No gain.
That's a Kevin Patullo problem.
I agree.
Because there's no reason against the Chargers. It's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, 2 different occasions. You throw a bubble screen after you've been throwing the ball down, you've been moving the ball and then 3rd down, you resort to something that doesn't even put the ball in a place where if it's successful, you get the 1st down.
And you throw a bubble screen and to Devontae.
Yes, and Devontae,
he got to break 2 tackles.
Yeah, and with all due respect to Devontae, he doesn't have the greatest. He's not twitchy. That's not Devontae's style.
You know what? It's not even about twitchy. If a DB gets their hands on Devontae, he's probably going to go down, because he's losing the battle of physics.
Right. He's not a heavy dude. Like he's twitching his Devontae's style is very smooth.
Correct.
Very smooth. And I just don't think bubble screens is the best way to use his skill set.
I
Personally.
agree.
So when you're 3rd and 9, because here's the thing, right? When you throw a bubble screen at 3rd and 9 versus throwing something up the middle, I'm going to put it this way. Let me simplify it more. When you throw a bubble screen, which is behind the line of scrimmage,
Yes.
versus throwing the ball towards the line of scrimmage or towards the line of game, you're overcomplicating your job. You throw a bubble screen, 2 things have to happen. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 things have to happen. No, I take that back. 4 things have to happen. The quarterback has to be accurate with the pass. That's 1. The receiver has to catch the ball. That's 2. 3, the blocking has to hold up long enough. That's 3. And you gotta hope that your ball carrier can break a tackle or 2 to get to that first down.
Let's streamline that. Let's streamline
If you
that.
throw the ball to the line to gain, only 2 things have to happen. Quarterback has to be accurate. Receiver has to catch the ball.
Again, let's streamline that. If you're gonna run a screen, you better hope that the defense don't recognize it.
Yes.
And as
simple
much as
that.
we run it, and as easy as it is to identify, you either got to run it differently or do something. But again, that's whenever I see us in trips formation and at a gun, I'm like, please.
I'm like, here we go. Here we
Please,
go.
please. And if I can see it, they can see it.
Exactly. And sometimes we all know this. We all know this growing up. They teach you this in grade school. The shortest distance between 2 places is a straight line.
Yeah.
The Eagles with these bubble screens, they go left, then they go up instead of just going up. The shortest distance to a destination is a straight fucking line. Bubble screens require too much execution.
Yeah. Agreed.
Let your receivers run the routes they run the routes they're capable of running and throw the ball down the field. Throw the ball to the line of game. You need 9 yards, throw it 10 yards.
Correct.
It's not that complicated.
And I don't mind throwing slants to AJ Brown. Everybody says we're forcing them the ball. We're not forcing them the ball. We wasn't forcing them the ball when we were losing. I mean, when we were winning, we were getting them the ball. I think people still forget that.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
He had 5 games. We got him the ball.
The reality is you get your best player the ball. Simple as that.
Correct. Period.
You get your best player the ball. We talked about this with Joe Flacco when he got traded to the Bengals, right? He didn't even know the offense. They said, yeah, Joe, what went into this win? He said, look, I barely knew the offense. One thing I do know, I got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Get the ball to Jamar.
Get the ball to Jamar Chase, and he gonna make something happen. That's simple. You can't. I don't believe in you're forcing the ball to your number 1 receiver.
Right.
You want your number 1 receiver to have the ball. You want that. Now are there moments where I believe you're forcing a rock when you can force the issue with players. Let's make that clear. You can. It is possible to force the ball to somebody. That is possible. And forcing it means you're throwing it to that person regardless of the coverage, regardless of anything.
Right.
And we've seen them do that with AJ Brown earlier in the season. I can't remember what game that was. What game was that where they were forcing him the ball to no end?
That was
Was that the
like they were throwing like stupid passes.
It was like dumb passes,
like 5-yard hitches and stuff like that.
Yeah. What game was that?
And it was very obvious.
That was the Denver game, I think.
Yeah, it was very obvious. And it's like, if you're going, that's not what you need to do. Especially if it's 3rd and 8 and you throw in the 5-yard hitch. That doesn't make sense to me. Throw it to the sticks. We got to get it.
I agree with you 100%. Too often I've seen this team go short of the line of scrimmage. Now, sometimes look if they're covering well, sometimes you got to throw the ball short of the scrimmage and let your guy make a play. It'd be like that sometimes. Hit your check down, see what happens. Every play not gonna go your way. But when you're not even stressing the opponent's defense, when you're just throwing a bubble screen, throwing a 5-yard hitch when you need 10 yards,
right?
Like you're not even stressing them. You're taking the onus off of them. So, we've been live for about an hour and some change. We'll see how this thing goes. Let's get to these predictions, these bold predictions, and
well, let's go through the super chats because I might have to have to break in a second.
Okay, no worries. Let's do that real quick. We got Malik Carter first. He says, Tone, take every game one at a time. Go Birds. Hey, listen, Malik, I ain't got no choice but to take one game at a time, man. Yep. I ain't got no choice. They've put me in that position. If they were doing what they're supposed to do, I could actually take this season 2-3 games at a time. I could be like, okay, that's a win, that's a dub, that's a loss. I'll be able to do that. But they put us in a position where all we can is take it one game at a time because they have been abysmal on offense. Thank you for the super chat, Malik. I really do appreciate you.
We have to run the ball. Let Barkley run to the edge. He got at least 8 yards every time he ran to the perimeter last week. Did y'all see the video I made of what happens when we run inside and when we run outside? Even when we started to run inside, then he bounced to the outside. That's why our bread is buttered right now. We got to take advantage of it. And if we do not do that, that is what I blame Patullo.
And he clearly is struggling with understanding his personnel this season. Interior of your offensive line has not been playing well in the run game. That's been consistent.
We're not even going to get on the tight end.
That's been consistent. So therefore, run to the outside, get your tackles involved. All right, let's see what the next super chat is saying. Rock Mikey with $2 super. He says, could Frank Reich be the Fangio of the offense? I don't know, man. Frank Reich is probably sitting on the island. He's rich as hell, still getting paid from the Colts. He's chilling.
Could be. Who knows?
And I don't know what the fine print of those contracts say. If he gets a job, does it void his previous money? Who knows? I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Marcus Williams back again. He says Patullo has a Chex Mix game plan. It's a mixed bag. He doesn't set things up. There's no floor adjustments. Yo, I agree with you, man. I agree.
Yep. Play calling is an art. Yeah, some have it, most don't. I mean, even if you're not an artist, you know how to use crayons. So some have it, most don't. It's all situational on how you put the players in the best position. KP doesn't have it yet. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to DJ Simo with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, man.
He came back with another one.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to DJ Simo with the $4.99 back again. Says, look how many QBs regressed this season with new OCs. Coaching matters. Nobody talking about Baker, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Mahomes regressing. It's funny because like people thought Baker was the big man on canvas the first half of the season. I'm like, listen, that's going to slow down because they're in too many close games, and like it's something like that just doesn't sustain itself.
Right.
And for the most, I actually think quarterback plays down this year as a whole.
I agree. Ain't nobody really lighting it up. Matthew Stafford's probably the best quarterback in the league right now, and he's had his moments.
Yes,
but statistically, you got to say he's probably the best.
Yeah, you have to. You got to give it to him. I think quarterback play has been down.
Justin Herbert's not looking great.
Yeah,
Jared Goff's not looking great. Caleb Williams is not looking great
at all.
Jordan Love is not looking great. Mahomes is not looking great. Sam Darnold, you saw what happened to him. JJ McCarthy got hurt.
Again,
Aiden Daniels got hurt
again.
So, your boy in Arizona got benched.
Yeah.
So
they're just calling it injured reserve, but he got benched.
Yeah, it's down. That's called thank you very much.
He won't be there next year.
No, hell no. Nope. All
right, let's see what else we got here. We got one more with Green Wingman hitting us with a super chat here. He says, even if you move on from KP, it feels like Eagles will go after another young OC since they are more available over DC vets.
Possible.
It's possible, man.
I just need somebody that's going to stay a while and experience. That's what I need. I don't want somebody getting this job for the first time.
Yeah.
But that's my preference.
That's why I respect Ben Johnson. That's why, because Ben Johnson didn't just jump at the first job when he had the opportunity to. He said, I don't like these options. I'm going to come back for another year. This is where I got to trust
Howie, because I don't think Sirianni's going to make this decision.
Not anymore. I think they have two separate occasions where he's made a decision and it has not benefited you. I honestly think they're going to take that out of his hands going forward. Speaking of that, Jeffrey Lurie was spoken to, apparently. That's the rumor. They said, they asked him how he felt about, what's been going on. And I think the quote was not worried at all. I think that was the quote. Make sure I got this right here.
What is he supposed to say?
Exactly. What is he supposed to say?
What's he supposed
Oh
to
my
say?
God. Like, what is he supposed to say?
You never people that are asking those questions are never gonna get the answer they want. And then they do get the answer they want, they lose their shit.
I just question why waste the opportunity to speak to him if you got it.
Yeah, that part I
him more-
understand, but like, what do you? That's his job to keep his stuff close to the vest. He's been doing this long enough. He know how to meet. He know how the sausage is made. So it is what it is. We're not gonna see nothing or hear nothing until after the season. Well, after the season is done. So the first move they'll make is that they will decide whether they're gonna keep Kevin Patullo, and then go from there.
Yeah, we know what the answer is going to be.
Because I would imagine they're gonna make that decision very quickly because the draft is coming.
Yeah. 24 Bird says, do y'all think a defensive player could be league MVP this year? Hell no. That'll never happen.
They should, but if ever there was a year for it, Myles Garrett deserves it. Myles Garrett deserves it hands down. Playing in Cleveland and doing what he's doing, hands down. When you do what he's doing on a bad team, if he had any semblance of an offense, oh my God.
You shouldn't have took the money, Toombs.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have took the money.
But all right, Tone, I got to bounce, brother.
For sure, man. This is what we're going to do, man. Let's do a score prediction, then we get out of here. So, what's your score prediction for this game?
24-10.
24-10. Damn, they're not even putting up 30 points. 24-10.
Bro. I gotta go.
Yep, no problem. And minus 28-10. We can close the thing out. So 28-10. I think the Eagles win this game, maybe 28. Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna roll with 27-13. 27-13. That's how I'm carrying it with you guys. If I'm thinking about bold predictions, I feel like every prediction with this offense is bold. Every prediction with this offense is bold because they've been so mediocre over the past several weeks. So I'm going 27-13, Eagles win. Bold prediction on defense. I think the Eagles in this game with maybe 6 sacks on Kenny Pickett. That's my bold prediction. I mean, they had 7 against Justin Herbert last week. They had 7. So I'll say 6. 6 sacks for the Eagles defense, man. That's my bold prediction on defense and offense. I don't know. Saquon goes.
I just need Jalen. That's my bold prediction. Jalen Hurts has got to have I need 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's what I need from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, keep it clean, man. Keep it clean.
And 30 passes or under.
Yeah.
In this weather.
Exactly.
But I got to bounce, bro.
Yep. Let's close the thing out, you guys. He's Marcus Thomas. I'm Tone. This show's the second. Subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. Subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports. This has been the Bald Eagles podcast, you guys. And it's straight like that, y'all. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagles swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soars in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.